Thursday, the 15th of June, 2023. Conquering fear, renewing my Brazilian ID. Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro. 24 degrees, hottish, sunny, and slightly overcast. I was up at 4:30 p.m. and in the street by 5. I was back home, showered and changed by 6:30, and was ready for the first class at 7 a.m. Now, Tuesdays and Thursdays are my heaviest days in terms of classes. However, I still had time to call the despachante, forwarding agent, to resolve the problem with my Brazilian ID. 5 years ago, I had just renewed my Brazilian ID, as it must be renewed every 10 years, when I was mugged near Maracanã by 4 Flamengo football supporters. I lost my rucksack with my laptop and some documents, including my Brazilian ID. I was going out with Jacqueline, a beautiful and complicated woman in Tijuca, and I was living in Benfica, about 2 km from where she lived. It was midnight on a Wednesday, and we had just argued, so she told me to go. I left and walked to Praça Bandeira, where I would take a taxi home when, at that moment, thousands of Flamenguistas, Flamengo football fans, were leaving the stadium after a match. Imagine seeing a foreigner, more like an alien wearing a Panama hat and a rucksack at midnight alone in one of the most dangerous places in Rio, especially after a Flamengo match in Maracanã. It started with 1, then 2 or 3 more jumped me, trying to take my rucksack. I fought. I hit 1 or 2, but there were too many. One came from the side and kicked my knee, which put me to the ground. They got my rucksack, and they were off. I still have problems with my right knee until today. It is not 100%. Maybe it needs some surgery. My computer for work, and my Brazilian ID, which I need when traveling abroad. I should have renewed my ID before now, but as my life is constantly changing and never calm, not forgetting the 2-year lockdown period because of the pandemic, now that I have to go to England, I need a second copy. So, I called my despachante, and to my pleasant surprise, the cost for renewing the ID was the same as 3 years ago, and it would be fairly simple to do. Claudio asked me to send him some documents by email, which I did immediately. In half an hour, the appointment to present myself at the Federal Police and the protocol were done and confirmed. I transferred the money into his bank account, and everything was arranged for the 26th of this month. There is very little I'm scared of, but going to public authorities, especially in Brazil, is a particular fear of mine, which is one reason why I have not done this before. I had created an 8-meter-high wall in my head, but in half an hour, this wall was climbed, dominated, and conquered, and now it is in the past. The problems we have in life are never what we imagine them to be. Of course, they are problems, and they are our problems, and some are much more challenging than others. But really, they are just there to test us. As soon as we face this test, and when we own up to it, it just disappears away in front of us, and it is done. This is why I believe so much in the saying that we are our own worst enemies. No one can inflict so much damage on ourselves as we can do. Maybe our problems are a test for us. If we pass, we go to the next stage or level. If we do not pass or cannot resolve that issue, then we will continue at the same stage in our lives until we learn to own up to what we must do, face it, and evolve. Job done. Let us continue ahead. In bed by 9 p.m. Thank you. Thanks for reading my blog. Check out my other posts and share your thoughts in the comments. Richard. Photos by Richard George Photography.